fatal thought impact, past painful thoughts. In fact, I blast tasteful thoughts and past. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet now. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, before we do begin, welcome to the Kirusho minishot. This idea, it's gonna sound strange, and it kind of is, and that's sort of the point of it. Now, if I were to make this one a series, it's kind of simple. The premise is Deku, he meets a villain and faces off against them. However, that villain isn't who Deku expects. And the villain, they have a lot of knowledge about Deku. Now, with that being said, we do currently open to Izuku, as he's currently flying over the city. He's remembering quite a lot of things that happened to him whenever he was going to UA. A lot of crazy stuff went down, and it's hard to think about. Many things have changed since then, and he actually is sort of curious. As he's currently flying through the air, you do have where he does have on his earpiece somebody talk to him, as they do tell him about a crime that's currently in progress. And Deku, he hears about how somebody is threatening to blow up an entire building, and they're not exactly too sure where the bombs might be placed, since the villain, they claim to be on, let's just say the 49th floor. However, the floor, or the building, is about 60 stories. If that thing were to come down with all the civilians around, it would cause quite a lot of damage, especially because this building is in quite a large area. And there is actually a subway station underneath it. The place is too hard to evacuate, and currently within the next 20 minutes, a train will be coming by the area. Now, Deku, he does hear about this, and he does get a response. Him informing the person on the other end that he's going to go to that building and see if he can do anything about it. As Deku, he does go to change his course and start flying towards the direction. As we do have whenever he does arrive. Deku, he's currently trying to look around, and he's trying to find the best place where the bombs could be held. However, he's not exactly too sure where they could be. And, while Deku, he's currently looking around an area, you do have where his danger sense, it does go off. Deku going to spin and turn as he is going to bring up his hand to use Black Whip. As the moment he does, you do have where somebody there currently just staying there. And they're holding on to a detonator. And Deku, he can see them. However, he can't make them out too well, since they're currently at least covered by a cloak and they have a mask on. Who are you? Are you the villain who's threatening this area? My hero. That being said in a voice that Deku he doesn't recognize. It seems like you're quite perceptive. You've already gotten here. Then again, I should have expected that from you. Okay, so you know me. Really? That's sort of an obvious question. Why wouldn't I know the #1 hero? Deku. Or, well, Izuku Midoriya. How do you know my name? I know quite a lot about you. I know many things about you, Izuku. I even know your mother's name. No, that's a bluff. Deku going to step forwards. As the villain, they do go to bring up a kill switch or a dead man switch in their left hand, expressing to Deku that if he does step closer and he drops this, that the place will also go up, along with even another location that he put down explosives at, one that Deku he really wouldn't want to have blow up. And the villain, they are staring at Deku. As Deku he does freeze, asking the villain exactly what is that second location. Really, hero? I believe I already made myself clear. I know a lot about you. I know many things. And you're going to sit there and I'm going to talk to you I'm going to ask you a few questions, and you're going to tell me the answer to them. All right? Okay, but can I ask a question first? Hmm, That's not how this went down last time. But sure, I'll allow it. Last time? Is this someone I've met before? Okay, where's the secondary location? Oh, Izuku, it's at your mother's apartment. What? No, you're lying to me. There's no second location, is there? The man going to say an address. As Deku, his face has turned pale white after hearing it, and he does go to start charging up one for all. As the villain does express to Deku that he has to remember, all he has to do is lightly take his hand off, and the place goes boom. So, turn off that damn quirk. Alright, fine. Deku trying to think. If he goes for the attack with his hand, if he's able to use Black Whip and sneak up on this guy, maybe, just maybe, he can take him out. Maybe he can wrap his hand around the Deadman switch. Maybe he can, that being where a series of lights do flick on, behind the guy. And Deku is going to back up and bring up his hand, to cover his face. Or cover his eyes. As whenever Deku's hand is cast as shadow, he does stare directly at the guy, asking what the hell is going on. Oh, come on, hero. I said I know everything about you. I took precautions. Especially with your power. Okay, enough joking around. What the hell do you want? Really? Alright, fine. Question 1. Exactly what happened with you and your wife? What? You and your wife? What happened? How did your marriage change after you two, the high school sweethearts that you were, got a divorce? That that was public knowledge. Our breakup was mutual. Oh no, no, it wasn't, Hero. It wasn't. Your wife, Uravity, she thought that you didn't love her anymore. Wasn't that the case? The number one hero, too busy to start a family. It's quite a shame, really. I'm sure that you would have been such a good father. You would have hatched beautiful children's hero. Maybe they could have inherited that quirk. You know, the one you inherited from All Might. That, okay, that wasn't public knowledge. No, it wasn't. You work for All for One, don't you? No, I don't. In fact, I actually killed him. That's not possible. He's in Tartarus prison. He's locked up. Oh, no, no, no. No, he's not. Actually, he's dead. They just haven't found him. In about 2 days when they go to check on him, they'll realize he's just a corpse in a chair that, with the help of some computer networking and even some, well, rigged equipment, they can make it look like he's breathing. They can make it look like his vitals are always steady. And they won't know until the smell starts to get to them that he's been dead for quite some time. What? That's not possible. Did you kill him? Of course. Of course I did. Besides, it didn't happen last time. What? What are you talking about? Last time? Why do you keep saying that? Oh, disregard it, hero. I'm just thinking out loud. I do that quite a bit. Alright, now question 2. Bakugo Katsuki, your childhood friend. What do you know about him? Bakugo? What do you mean? Hero, I'm being very nice with this one question. It's one that I know a lot of information about. However, I do want to hear you say it. Say those words. And maybe, just maybe, you'll get the correct answer I want you to say. Bakugo Katsuki. He's a good man. He was a good man, hero. He was. However, he died, didn't he? you couldn't save your best friend in that fire. It's such a shame, really. Just a hot-headed hero. He walks into a burning building, and he's practically covered in explosive goo. The same stuff C4 would be made out of, just a little bit more volatile. He was never the one for smarts or intelligence, was he? Now, Deku, he does get a lot angrier, expressing to the villain that this isn't funny, and that if they were going to blow up the building, wouldn't they have done it a while ago? Oh no, hero. It's not the purpose of tonight. I'm here to ask you questions. You're going to give them to me. And if you don't, then I am going to blow up not only your mother, but this building. In fact, let me put things into perspective. There are over 968 people who are going to die. Half of them, they'll be on that train that derails. And a third of them, they're currently the onlookers who are down there. The police can't properly section off this area because of exactly the high traffic area it is. And, well, I'm sure you're quite curious as to what the other number is. Let's just say sparks we made. And put it at that, a broken gas vein. Okay, how do you know that information? Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's all that I need to know. Everything that you don't. Okay, fine. What's your next question then? Okay. What is the name of your new sidekick? My sidekick? Oh, yes. Your sidekick. You know, the one you started having after your wife left you. The way you made your wife feel. She always felt like she couldn't hold a candle to you. So impressive, so powerful, so much of a utility. However, you made her feel bad. You made her feel insecure. And that's why she left you. Ever since then, you've been trying to fill that void. You thought more hero work and more, well, working out would help. But it didn't, did it, Izuku? Now, Deku just stand there angry. I asked this person to explain to him. If he's gonna try to lash out, don't try to do it with Black Whip. And don't try to do it with his mist. Or smokescreen. If you do want to give it the actual name it does go by. And Deku, whenever he does hear the man say smokescreen, he does know that something is off. Well, that is the name of his quirk. Everyone, they call it something different. They usually call it Misty, or, well, something else, just some sort of variation. They're not exactly too sure as to the name of his quirk. And Deku, he's well aware as to this little fact. I'm going to jump in and ask this villain exactly how do they know the name of Smokescreen? Because he's never had it officially listed. Oh, come on, pro. It's easy. You block out your enemy's vision, and then they can't do much. It's quite simple. Besides, you use that quirk a bit too much. In fact, it's the reason why you failed on that latest job. The one from a few months ago? What was it called again? You remember exactly who you failed to save? Because I do. That wasn't my fault. Oh, no, 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 no. You don't get to play that card, hero. You cannot play the victim in that one. There was a villain, and there was somebody who needed to be saved. You thought that you were fast enough. It eats at you, doesn't it? You know her name, don't you? I do. Now, do you exactly know what she wanted to be? Who she was? Do you know her on a personal level? Did you ever catch that villain? Did you do things right? Or did you fuck up? I fucked up. Good boy. As long as you're quite aware of that fact. Was she close to you? Was she close to me? I wouldn't say that exactly. She was somebody I've met before. She is somebody that I, granted, did enjoy spending some time with. I didn't exactly love her. That's a lie. Is it, Pro? Is it 'cause you don't know me, and I don't know you, do I? Ah, of course that is a lie, though. I do know you pretty well, Izuku. Now, tell me, what were the details to that? The details? Yes, yes. Choosing between going after the villain or saving the innocent person falling to their death. What did you do? Did you try? Did you fail? Did you do something so irrevocably stupid that you have to live with? I messed up. Did you now? I did. I thought someone was going for them. I messed up because they didn't make it. Who didn't make it? Your friend? Yeah, it was quite unfortunate, wasn't it? They didn't make it. They were just a little too slow. And your psychic got killed because of it. You told them to go after the big bad villain. And now they're dead. Are you seeing a pattern, Pro? Everybody around you's been dying. And you, being the strongest man that you are, have not had the power to save any of them. Your wife left you, and your friends are dead. Your biggest regrets are well known to a lot of people. People try to cheer you up. People try to get you to get your head on straight, don't they? Trust me, hero. I'm well aware as to what you're going through. Hmm? What? Bullshit. Deku is stepping forwards, talking about he's not aware as to what it's like to lose them. Him losing his best friend, and then losing the person he was assigned to for an internship. They were just a fucking kid. And they did something stupid. Oh, hero. That's not the truth, is it? It is. I send a kid after a villain. I was confident the kid could do it. I swore he could have. He was gonna be my successor. But he, the villain, the villain lost it. They took some of that quirk enhancer stuff, didn't they? They juiced. They just went for it. They thought they were untouchable, and to a kid they were. However, to you, it's also one of your biggest mistakes, isn't it? You killed that man, didn't you, hero? No, I didn't. He's behind bars. He got caught in a building collapse and... No, no, no. The man going to bring up his right hand. As Deku does, stare at the detonator and look to see that there's actually a few buttons on it. As whenever one of the buttons are pressed, something above Deku does going to blow up. Him hearing it, and being a lot more concerned, since that proves that the explosives inside the building, they're real. And the villain, he doesn't continue to talk, expressing to him that the man didn't get caught in a building collapse. The man was almost beaten to death in frustration. If he tries to lie on these questions again, then he is going to press one of the actual important buttons. And he will at least let him in on a little secret. One of the explosives are currently close to them in this location. If the explosive does go off, it will not be very good for them. They will be hit by debris and by smoke. Now, Deku, he does go to listen to that, since that does prove that he was at least in the area where the bomb could have been. And he does go to somewhat congratulate himself on at least being close to it. With a few minutes of investigation, he may have actually been able to find it, since Danger Sense, it might have been able to alert him to this. Now, this is where the villain, they do continue to talk, expressing that he doesn't blame them, nor does he discourage him. He's actually very proud of him for what he did. Really. But how do you know that information? Nobody else was around. And that was, well, after I checked on my sidekick. After I made sure the kid, he was still what? Still breathing? You hesitated. You know they weren't breathing. You saw the hole that villain put through that kid. You know he was already dead long before you got there. Bleeding out, begging, praying, maybe? You don't know what that kid was going through in his final moments. Pro, all you know is that kid died because of you. Just a few more seconds. Maybe if I'd gotten there just a minute sooner and used Black Whip. All those thoughts going through your mind. Like a hole that just can't find something to plug it. What? Hero, the analogy is quite simple. You have a void in yourself because of it. And right now, you are gnawing away at yourself with these questions. You ponder this stuff. It will drive you mad. It does drive you mad. What happened to you, though? What happened to you to make you like this? Me? Those questions aren't so important right now. But I will at least tell you a few things. I met someone. They were very close to me. They became close to me. And they were killed. I was angry. I was annoyed. I didn't quite understand as to why. I didn't know as to why. And when I found out, it drove me mad. It made me angry. It made me realize a lot of bad things were happening. A lot of things I wanted to stop. A lot of things I wanted to change. But that didn't quite work out now, did it? It didn't quite go the way I wanted. And so, I tried again. However, everything fell apart. I fell apart, Pro. I had to rebuild my world twice. I had to watch it burn. And instead of just trying to pick myself up again, try and do what I've done for what I felt like was thousands of times throughout my entire life. The one time I tried to do it after it happened, when everything I loved, everybody I wanted to protect, everybody around me died, I lost it. I lost my mind. You know why? Because I realized in those moments it was all pointless. Do you understand, Izuku? Nothing ever goes our way. What do you mean? We're remarkably similar, you and I. It all just does make sense, doesn't it? What I'm talking about? You've already lost a lot and you're currently still trying to rebuild. What was it? You're trying to talk to that one lady at your office? That one pro you like so much? The one whose power you don't fully understand? What are you talking about? Oh, come on, hero. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Me bringing up the mention of her should have at least done something to you. Shouldn't it? Okay, but that doesn't make any sense. How do you know of any of this? These questions, how do you know them? Pro. I'm not answering that question. You're answering my questions, remember? Just for that, I'm going to press another button, as another explosion above Deku can be heard. And Deku, he does actually start to see on one of the walls that there are actually some cracks starting to form. And whenever he does at least go to look around, he does notice that the rest of that weight that's been displaced, it's trying to find support in the other beams. And Deku, he does get to look back towards the villain. As the man, he actually is going to bring up his left hand and somewhat motion as to if he's going to drop the dead man switch. And Deku, after he does go to lean forwards, he does watch as the villain, he does go to just bring his hand back up. Him still holding his thumb down into his palm or into his fist very tightly. Now, the villain, he does want to start to laugh, as he does continue with his questions. And Deku, he does actually notice a small opening. He's gonna have to make it quick, and he's gonna have to use Fa Jin. But if he can do this, then he'll be alright. Everything can be settled. Everything will be alright. Fa Jin, it's been a while since he used it. And right now, he's gonna have to. Deku leaping forwards with surprising speed, and the villain, he does go to do one thing. He does go to just bring up his hand and directly go to throw the dead man switch at Deku. As whenever he does go to toss it in the air, Deku, he does steer directly at the dead man switch. To him, the guy just let go of it. And there's still time before the thing pops up. He can see it in his perception. He can tell. He's got it. Whenever Deku does go to wrap his fingers around it and go to bring his thumb up to press down on it, you do actually have where a fist does directly slap into Deku's fingers. And Deku, after this, going to somewhat react in his thumb moving off of the switch, you do have where he's sent flying backwards, whenever another fist does directly go to hit him. And after that does happen, you do have where the building, it does blow up. The other support beams, they are detonated, and Deku, after he does go to somewhat get back up, he does realize the building is about to come down, and he has to work fast to save it. As after everything is said and done, and many pros did have to get involved with steadily lowering the building down and trying to resecure it, you did actually have where he was sitting down and thinking about a lot of things. He knows exactly what happened there tonight. And he is also a bit worried. He's tried to call his mom. Thankfully, the dead man switch was obviously a trick. He couldn't have risked it though. This guy, he knew too much. He knew so much about him. Things he's never mentioned to anybody, he knows. How is that possible though? Deku reading the news article in front of him. As he was lucky. The villain kept him talking for a few minutes. And Deku, he was thankful that he at least did make a phone call. They were lucky enough to draw that out just long enough. The train was able to stop and leave the station. However, a few people, they did get their injuries. And that was something that Deku, he does know. The guy was talking about this event. Strangely. He was talking about it like it already happened. And, well, there's also his speed. The powers he showed off. That's not possible. He matched him in speed. How was that? That doesn't make any sense. Deku just trying to think. As he's currently sitting down in his apartment. And he is going to swirl his hand around with a glass of whiskey. He doesn't understand this villain. Maybe he never will. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next mini shot.